You're going to die, bro. And you can't escape it, unfortunately. Now, when you heard that just now, your reaction to it tells us a lot about our heart and the condition of it. Is your heart hard and you didn't feel anything, or is your heart open and soft, and you felt some fear, some type of fear? Inshallah, you're the latter, or the second one. Now nowadays, everyone everyone wants to ignore death. They don't. They say the only thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. But I don't know. But I don't know anything about taxes. But death, I think everyone's experienced some sort of death in their life. Maybe a death of a person, death of a relationship, just death in. I mean, obviously, if you're alive, you can't experience death. But so, as I was saying, nowadays there's kind of this implied immortality. Now, what I mean by this is, how do I explain this? By ignoring death and never talking about it, it's kind of like people are trying to say, or implicitly or beneath the surface, kind of trying to say, oh, we're immortal. We're immortal. No, sounds very weird saying that word. But obviously we're not. So it's kind of this cognitive dissonance people have, where they have this idea of, okay, I know it is a fact that I'm going to die, but then over here it's the media and the advertising and all this stuff just perpetuating this idea of immortality. Now that we've established that we are going to die, how do we prepare for death? How do we do it? Well, first of all, you could do this. Give me some pepper. Look at this. Look at that. See that? On my wall, next to my chocolate and my random sheets. That. I recommend you all to do that. I think it's the Stoics. It might be the Stoics. I might be mistaken actually. Who have a saying called "memento mori" or "remember death," which is actually a very good saying, to be honest. Because people don't recognize death as much nowadays. I mean, death used to be very, very prevalent everywhere. Maybe you'd walk down the street and there'd be a dead person on the floor. Yeah, as comedic as that might seem, but death is kind of hidden nowadays. You see, oh, on the news, X person died, and you don't feel anything. You're like, okay, he died. You don't reflect and say, okay, what about me? Or of course, I'm also going to die. So how do I prepare for death? I'm going to give you the Islamic answer now, yeah. Obviously, do a lot of dhikr. Remember God always, yeah. Because ultimately, that's who you're going to return to. I mean, Allah promises in the Quran that every soul will return to Him. So why not prepare for the meeting? Arguably the most important meeting. I wouldn't say in your life, because you're not going to be alive then, but in your afterlife. Of course, you need to start praying properly. Now, you might just cope and say, oh bro, I already pray 5 times a day, bro. Like, bro, get your khushu up, bro. Get your focus up. Learn the meaning. You might pray all 5 prayers and you don't know one single word that you're saying. Learn the meaning. Do your nafal, do your sunnah. Do all the extra prayers, do your tahajjud, do your Salatul Duha that I've recently been doing as well. Also remember that the only thing you really take into the grave with you is your deeds. And just a side point about Sadaqah Jariyah, which is, I think, a charity that goes on after your death. I think it's either bringing up a child that will pray for you. I think it's setting up a well that people drink from, or planting trees that people will have shade under. I think there's lots of examples, but I'm not an expert on these things, so I can't really go into it. I think I'm going to leave it there, because the ultimate point of this video is that you are going to die. Now you need to fully realize the meaning of that statement and what you need to do about it. That's it. Safe voice. Take care.